Hello and welcome to Sports Tonight. I'm Cecilia Omogbe in Lagos.
Sporting greetings to you wherever you are in the world watching us. In London, I'm Austin Okonakpan. So much going on in our world of sports, Cecilia. And you know I love Fridays because it comes with a yay sound, you know. Right here in England, we have action going on in the FA Cup fifth round. I see Aston Villa taking on Cardiff City. That game just kicked off. I'll be giving our viewers updates on the show tonight. And of course, so much. All of the major talking points this week. We'll wrap it all up on the show tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Football is getting our attention tonight on the show. Yes, it's weekend. It's Friday. Loads and loads of football. But not just football on the show tonight. We'll be talking about the NFL. Yes, the National Football League in the U.S., of course, popularly known as the NFL. Well, a Super Bowl champion is in Nigeria, and he met with the president of the country earlier today. So we will be talking about him, his plans for the country, and what we can actually do to have more numbers, more players are living here to play in the NFL. That the fact is, NFL doesn't, we really don't need to actually go there, but NFL can actually come here to scout for players. These are some of his plans that he has revealed to the president earlier today. You get to listen to him on the show tonight and also listen to the president's promises for the NFL player, a Super Bowl winner. You know what that means? He's a Nigerian, yes. Remember that guy was actually flying his flag right there after the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl against the Kansas Chiefs. You know what happened after that? Yes, we'll be talking about him on the show tonight. And of course, the BAL, the Basketball African League, we have 6 new teams that will be taking part in season 5. It's season 5. I mean, when did it start? It's already in its 5th season. And of course, you have Rivers Hoopers representing Nigeria. So we have the timetable, the draws, the teams that will be taking part is complete. Remember, it's just 12 teams. Well, we have 6 new teams taking part. So it simply means that all the 6 teams that took part, some of the teams that have been taking part in the last edition didn't make it here. That's how competitive it is in Africa. Imagine having 54 countries, just 12 teams can actually take part in it. And Morocco, for the first time, will be hosting BAL. And of course, that's where Rivers Hoopers will be going to. So it's a tough one for the champions of Nigeria. And of course, NPFL match day 27 will also get our attention. Some of the big games going on this weekend, we will talk about that. Yes, Austin already mentioned the FA Cup. So the Manchester clubs, they will be thinking of how they can revive this season through the FA Cup, because you have Liverpool out, Tottenham out, Arsenal out, Chelsea out. So the big teams that you have in the FA Cup happens to be the Manchester clubs. Yes, Newcastle right now, you can say it's a big club, right? Or even Fulham, because they are ahead of Manchester United. That's how it is in the FA Cup. And of course, we mentioned last night, we will be talking about the ECOWAS marathon taking place in Abuja this Saturday. Yes, that also will get our attention on the show tonight. But right here in Lagos studio, I have Babajide Oreva. He's joining me tonight on the show. Good evening. It's great to have you join me.
Thank you, Cecilia. Yes, the ECOWAS marathon tomorrow. It's happening in Abuja.
Yeah.
I wish I was in Abuja to actually the competition for the prize. Too many over $71,000 US to be up for grabs tomorrow. So it's a beautiful one for tomorrow.
It's the money that you love, right? Imagine talking about the money. I love the fact that, you know, some of those, as long as you're from an African country and you're competing and you're among the top 10, you definitely earn something. So that's the reward that is going. But we will dwell on that much later on the show. Austin, we're starting with this one. You know, we'll be talking about Nigerians in diaspora. You know, Nigerians in diaspora are doing a lot, you know, when it comes to sports development. But there's something they are asking from the president, or rather, just have facilities, have the resources, put these things in place, and you will see that you don't even need to go over there. They will come to you because they know that you have the natural resources, the human resources, and of course, you also have the facilities. Imagine BAL in its 5th season. We don't have a basketball arena. I mean, Nigeria would have been one of those places, but we don't have. I mean, they will play in Kenya, and they will play in Rwanda. They'll go to South Africa. They'll go to Egypt. They'll go to Morocco. They won't come to Nigeria because facilities are not there. But this time around, I mean, when Ojomo, when he spoke with the president, that's one of the key issues he was talking about. He is in Nigeria just visiting everyone. Remember, he left here when he was 7 years old with his parents to Texas, and of course, he got into high school, and what happened, he got drafted into the NFL at 247 or something. Philadelphia Eagles, I mean, they trusted him. They knew he was going to become something, and then they were able to draft him.
I mean, America, land of the free, home of the brave, you know, you go there, if you have dreams, they help you, you know, actualize those dreams. And that's what Moro Ojomo has been saying forever, you know. He says he wants to do the same thing that he did when he was young. He wants to help young talents from Nigeria, you know, actualize their dream playing American football. The sport might not be big here, but he's saying, look, I can help these guys make their dreams come true. I can create that pathway for them to come to the United States of America. But if they do not have the enabling environment, if there are no facilities, how will they actualize these dreams? And Cecilia, you know I've been so big on infrastructure, the word, and I love this. You see, when we say these people like, oh, you can't train up a child in the way he should go, and when he grows, he will not depart. So they told him to dobale for the president. When you are a Nigerian child, respect cannot be out of the window. First, he said, I want to come back home and celebrate my Super Bowl triumph, and then inspire young talent. And he met with the president. Shout out to the Nicom boss, Abike Dabiri, that also made sure that he got to meet the president. Nigeria is so blessed with talent, and we can use these talents. For instance, this guy is a Super Bowl champion. Probably some will be asking tonight, who is he? Now you know who he is. He's a Super Bowl champion, and he's got dreams. And that's him talking with the #1 citizen of Nigeria, the president, saying, I am here to help kids actualize their dreams. And I love the things the president said to him. So let's listen to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He received Moro Ojomo, Super Bowl champion, right there in Abuja. And I hope that big things will come out of this, Cecilia. Listen.
Bringing back the memory of that Super Bowl finish, the carry Nigerian flag and all of that, is just of a tremendous impact on me. And I'm glad you are here. I'm grateful to, you know, Abike Dabiri. I've seen through the system too in America, and to have this kind of representation, the kind of focus that you have, you can mentor many youths and develop our country. Yes, we're in Africa. We should be the most developed. We are the most talented. We should have the most rewarded. And I am, you know, ready to collaborate with people like you. Proud of so many talents that you have. If you have any recommendation or pathway on what I could do to make it better, work faster, yes, let me know. I went through some political twists and turns too to get to where I am. Your perseverance, your determination, your encouragement, your focus should be admired. Be at home, and I will be honored with one of the most national awards. Thank you, sir.
So that's it. Moro Ojomo with the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He won the Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles. And I love the things the president said. But let me bring in sports journalist Joseph Atewe. Joseph Atewe, good to have you join us on Sports Tonight. You listen to the president saying that we have talents everywhere. We must find a way to use these talents to develop sports in Nigeria. Do you agree?
Well, I agree. And of course, good evening to everyone watching this evening. And thank you for having me on the show as we speak. I listened to the president. I actually watched the video before I came on air. And, I saw what the president said. And I agree with him totally. But I believe that, to be honest with you, I feel like it's just Abike, doing a job there, bringing the guy in. Because truth be told, what happened to the cricket, the under-19 ICC World Cup team, that performed well? Is it India, Malaysia? Now, I'm not too sure about the country. What they did, were they hosted by the president? What happened to so many teams that are played in other sports? Were they hosted? So I believe Abike was doing a job, but then kudos to the president, because what he said was very encouraging. What he said, he said, if there's any issue, if there's something you feel I can do to develop this sport in this country, then bring it to my table. It's very encouraging. But I feel like it is sad, Austin. This is 2025. Yeah. We cannot still boast of hosting the African Cup of Nations single-handedly. That is Morocco. Talking about major competitions, a country that in 2006, 8-10, when Egypt won the African Cup of Nations 3 times in a row, would dare not compete with Nigeria. But unfortunately, we failed to plan. But then it's a wake-up call, like the president has said. Let's build on this thing. It's not everything is football. We can dwell in other sports, and it's something we need to wake up to.
I agree. Cecilia, we always talked about it, that infrastructure is very important, creates the enabling environment. And I think that's all, Moro Ojomo is asking, to be able to assist young talent who wants to play American football right there in the United States.
That's what he's asking. I think we need to listen to him before Babajide will react to this. As I mentioned earlier, he was drafted 249th overall in the 7th round into the NFL. So they didn't really look at him as one of those prospects. But after that performance against Los Angeles Rams, 0.5 sacks, he had 20 tackles. I mean, that actually sealed up the deal for him. Let's listen to him. His, how do I put it, what he had, what he's got to offer to Nigerians, and how we can actually build the sport, to encourage others who wants to play the sport to be in it.
When you reach those heights, it exponentially grows your personal ability. And Nigeria is a huge part of me, and God, and just has led me to today. And just here and having this opportunity has been great. And I think that meeting Mr. President, we want to, the NFL wants to go international. The NFL wants to have a opportunity to grow, and I think Nigeria can be at the forefront of that. I think that we have 135 Nigerian-born or Nigerian-descendant players. That's a big minority, and we can kind of forefront that and, just ultimately increase that pipeline, help Nigeria, and just create greatness. You have to look at the people around you and the places you're from. They ultimately lead to what you've accomplished in your life. And you need to come back and give back. We need to invest in Nigeria. You are where you're at because you have had opportunities. Come back and give others opportunities.
We have Nigerians excelling all over the world. Moro, as you saw, is a Super Bowl, 2-time Super Bowl champion. But guess what? He displayed the Nigerian flag, and he's home to make a presentation to the president to say that he wants to empower young Nigerians. He wants to motivate them. He wants to build an academy, where young Nigerians can be trained. He also wants to encourage scholarships, So he plans through his foundation to go to high schools, search for talents, so that we can have more of Moros all over the world. And that's a great thing. And this meeting with the president has also inspired him more. And we're imagining a lot of them. In the NFL, there are over 100 Nigerian players. We're imagining a lot of them coming together to do what Moro is doing. So we at the Diaspora Commission are reaching out to them, encouraging them, motivating them, creating the structure and the platform so that these things can happen. And the message is very simple. If Nigerians at home work with Nigerians in the diaspora, we will all work together to join Mr. President in making Nigeria a better place to live in. So for us in the Diaspora Commission, we encourage particularly the younger generation of Nigerians like Moro, who are doing amazing things all over the world. And the good news is that they are willing, they are passionate.
They are passionate and they are willing. Maureen Toluwa is one of such players actually willing to come invest here in Nigeria. Babajide, you listen to both the president and, of course, to Bike Dabire and, of course, more, talking about this. What do you think, overall? Just sum it up for us.
Okay, so for Moro, you need to see him play. This guy has it all, very strong and talented. He also says why Nigeria has the talent. I've always been an advocate of developmental sports. We have the talent. You said something earlier, and you said it's not until the NFL, we go to the NFL. The NFL should come here. Nigeria is blessed. And this guy has also replicated it. See the talent. He has just won it. You need to see him display the Nigerian flag. I love the fact that he's proud of. He is an ambassador. Irrespective of how it is, it's a beautiful one that Abike has helped him or brought him to see the president. Now he has been honored with a national award. Nothing as rewarding as that, but I hope that this will also be a lesson for the government. It means if we have the right infrastructure, if we have the right plans, the right structure, we would have the very best talents around the world.
Yeah, it's all about creating that strategy, creating the environment. Also, facilities is key for players to actually know, yes, we can do this. Let's leave that and quickly talk about the ECOWAS Marathon. Yes, the dream for them is to become gold label. Remember, we have, of course, the diamond one, the big one, the prestigious Lagos City Marathon. This is ECOWAS. This is the Economic Community of West African States. Yeah, that's what ECOWAS is all about. It's the 50th anniversary of ECOWAS, and they feel that to have this marathon, it has to be different from what they've been having before. Austin, yes, this race is big. You have more than 5,000 athletes, that will be taking part in this year's edition. The prize money, everything you can think about, like everyone is practically welcome. As long as you're running for West Africa, whatever position you finish, I think you're going to be getting money or something like that. Austin? Okay,
it sounds...
Okay.
Yes, Cecilia, I got you. I lost for a minute. This is a very good one, the third edition of the ECOWAS International Marathon. I like the fact that Nigeria is gradually becoming the destination for marathons in Africa. Tells you that we are now reaping some of the benefits of, the attention we have given to marathon over the years. I like it. I'm just waiting to see what will come out of this one for Nigeria in terms of sustaining the development that they will achieve from it. The money looks good, but I mean, money is just one of its prize money, but the lessons, they need to document important lessons and see ways particularly that we can use the power of sports to bring, peace, unity, and some level of strategic cooperation among the ECOWAS member nations. And I believe that sports can be used to do just that. Let's listen to the ECOWAS Director of Youth and Sports, Francis Ajonuga, and the race director, my brother, Gabriel Okon.
For this special edition 2025, we have brought in a special prize for ECOWAS citizens. For the first time, we are bringing in runners representing their countries from the ECOWAS 12 member states. We didn't get all 12 member states to participate, but some have sent in their delegations. As he said, Ghana has come with a delegation of about 7 runners. We have runners from Togo. We have from Guinea, from different ECOWAS member states. We have runners from across the world as well, joining the race. And so there's a special prize for the first ECOWAS citizen who crosses the line. This is open to international elite runners. So we know that our marathon is still developing, we are growing. So the first may not come from our region, but we must also appreciate their efforts as being part of the process. So there's a special prize for the 12 member states of ECOWAS. The first person from West Africa to cross that line will receive a prize of $1,000. And there are 5 prizes also lined up behind that first runner. We have a specific arrangement to ensure that the first 200 people to cross the line also get a special medal, in addition to the certificate that everybody receives. So if you're getting 5,000 runners, you all get certificates as long as you present yourself at the starting block.
This race is open to all nations, but we're paying more priority to our ECOWAS brothers and sisters, so that we can promote unity and integration. Other than that, anybody in the world, as a matter of fact, going by the entries, we have gotten competitors or runners from USA, Japan, China, Ethiopia. Obviously, they're coming to run and make some money. Kenyans are here, and the Ghanaians, they have a very good team here too. Sierra Leoneans are here. I even got some Cameroonians that are coming here. So the field is really crowded. I mean, that it consists of everybody can think of in the world, and it's open for everybody to compete and run and have fun.
I love it. It sounds good. Particularly the theme, Run for Unity. I like that West Africa, they are now investing and using sports to see ways that they can, promote some level of integration. Let's go on this quick break. Sports Tonight on Channels Television. When we come back, Babajide Oreva will give us his view as regards the marathon, and we will talk about the Basketball Africa League. So don't go anywhere. Stay. Welcome back, Sports Tonight on Channels Television. Just gone by, we talked about the ECOWAS International Marathon. The theme is Run for Unity. Yes, it's open to all nations, but I like that the organizers, they're giving special attention to West African nations that will compete at that one. Babajide, it's good. There's money involved, but I'm looking at the objective that in the long run, ECOWAS member states can use sports some way, somehow, to achieve some level of development.
Okay, so yes, ECOWAS has been fantastic. I like the fact that now it's not just football, it's now a marathon. Like you said, Austin, Nigeria is becoming the hub of marathon. And now, of course, everybody's in Abuja. It's tomorrow morning from the US, from China, from Ghana. Also, West Africans will now benefit directly. I'm hoping for a scenario where a West African will actually win the ultimate prize and also win the main prize. But however, it's beautiful one from the organizers. It also reflects the fact that we need to unite more within the West African region. And I just hope to see a beautiful marathon tomorrow. We've been doing it in Nigeria. I know very soon the ECOWAS marathon should actually attain the gold status that they've been hoping to. But kudos to the organizers. So much cash prizes to have 200 athletes to actually get medal, and of course 5,000 to be certified to actually, because they have participated. It's a beautiful. It also showcases Abuja. Let's come and see how the Wuses, you have to run through the beautiful aesthetics of how Abuja is being planned. It's a beautiful one for Nigeria, and I hope tomorrow they'll have a fantastic marathon.
Yeah, they need to have that fantastic marathon, because ECOWAS, to mark this milestone of the 50th anniversary of the region, and they're actually sponsoring athletes from ECOWAS state to actually participate in this, which is really a huge one. Let's quickly move to basketball. I'm going to come to you here. Okay, I'm going to come to you here, Joseph Atewa, concerning the Basketball Africa League. Yes, Rivers Hoopers are representing Nigeria in this year's edition, which is, of course, a big one. But then, how do you see their chances? Let's quickly take these out before we reel out, the group they will be facing, and of course, their journey through that first phase of Basketball Africa League.
All right, so for me, I feel like it is not only about the chances now, it's about what they've done. How did they get to this place? Desperation, yes, you might say. Collectiveness, putting everything together to be at this stage, give it to Rivers Hoopers. They've been knocking. And they've been knocking on this door, and there they have finally. So whatever the chance would be, I want to believe that this team, they've done their homework well. They put everything together to ensure that they give or come out well and give a good outing at the competition. Honestly, when it comes to basketball and when it comes to Rivers Hoopers, they've been an household name in Nigeria. But getting to this stage, which I want to believe is a stage they've always dreamt of. Now you have to put that aside and ensure that something meaningful comes out of this. So give it to them, honestly. I'm happy for them because they have been knocking, and I'm sure I've read about them so many times.
Yeah, as Nigerian champions, of course, that's why they are there. Let's just quickly, run through the teams they will be facing when they get to Morocco. They are in Kalahari Conference, which will be taking place in Rabat, Morocco. If we can have the fixtures quickly, we'll just run through this particular Kalahari Conference in Rabat. Al Ittihad of Egypt, they are there. FAT Union Sports of Morocco. You have Rivers Hoopers of Nigeria and Stade Malien, of course, from Mali, and this will be taking place from 5th to 13th. Now, this is what it's going to be looking like. The first team, they're actually playing the very first game, and it's going to be against the Malian team. So you would say they're not really starting. Okay, all the teams, as long as you're the champions from your region, definitely you are worth it, right? April 5th, which is the very first day starting, they'll be facing the team from Mali, and their second game will be on the 6th. They'll be facing FAT Union Sports, the host nation, and of course, the last game will be against Al Ittihad Alexander. That's the team from Egypt. So if you're able to make this, then you move to the final 8. Of course, South Africa is where that will be holding. A quick one. I mean, River Supers, it's been River Supers and Coral Falcons, right? I mean, this is the 5th edition, so we'll have just 2 teams from Nigeria that have been taking part. Funny enough, this edition, you have 6 new teams. A team from Cape Verde, for instance, is participating for the first time. A team from Kenya. It shows that other countries are really working to ensure, yes, they are part of this lucrative NBA-backed Basketball Africa League.
Okay, so I think it's also a mini marathon because they have to play each team twice, and
yes.
It's a lot of game. But however, Rivers
Hoopers.
Yes, they've been fantastic. They are 6-time Nigerian champions. This is their 3rd attempt. Last year they were 3rd at the competition. So I hope they can go all the way. But however, it's not going to be easy when you have. However, Petro de Luanda, the defending champions, they are in the Sahara Conference. So, but I hope they can actually get into the playoff to actually compete for the main title. Yeah,
to feature 3 regular season group phases, as I mentioned earlier. Of course, you're going to be having the playoffs and finals at Sunbird Arena in Pretoria in South Africa. That will be in June. So as I mentioned, 6 teams. Austin, you're having teams from Cape Verde, Kenya. I mean, this is getting bigger and bigger. I think it's only in Nigeria that we've just had 2 teams. Coral Falcons, the Rivers Hoopers, more like the regular guys that are coming in. Maybe when we make our league more competitive, we can have a new team going to BAL next season. But I know Rivers Hoopers wouldn't want to hear that, right?
That's the word, make your league competitive. And, Rivers Hoopers will get better. That's what a competitive league does. And at the end of the day, we will not bother who is representing Nigeria because we know that they have been cooked properly. We know that they've played standard basketball back home. But shout out to the Rivers State government and what they have done for Rivers Hoopers, because I look at basketball in Nigeria and our participation at the BAL. No disrespect to Coral Falcons, but what Rivers Hoopers seem to have been doing, shout out to Coach Odaudu also. He's been consistent with this team. He won, don't forget, Coach of the Year last time out when he finished 3rd. I believe that if we have a competitive league, if we have good infrastructure in place, these teams probably will be going to the BAL and they're winning. You've just talked about teams from Cape Verde and the rest. Look, let me tell you why basketball in these other regions are doing well. They're watching Nigeria and they're saying, okay, it's like Nigeria is telling us now that the world should take over. There should be a new order with basketball in Africa. And that's the motivation and inspiration that they need, to jump on whatever they're doing now. So shout out to Rivers Hoopers. Let's see what they can do. You mentioned at the start, and it was so heartbreaking. My heart bleeds each time we see as little as infrastructure. We're talking about build indoor arenas, Cecilia. Indoor arenas. All these plenty big stadiums you are building that you cannot maintain. Stop it and just build indoor sporting arenas. But because somebody wants over-bloated projects, white elephant project where they're going to make money, they want to go do the big things. Start small. And by the time we learn how to take care of those small infrastructure that are put in place, we will get better.
Okay. Let's call out Rivers State again, right? We did it last time, right? They need to build a basketball arena because Rivers Hoopers, 3 times they're representing the country. So they need a basketball arena. I mean, Rivers State can actually do this. I mean, you've been hosting the Final 8, MBBF Final 8 all the time. Yes, I know they just play like 5, 6 games, and then they play the Final 8. Yes, whatever they're doing. But then I think Rivers State actually need to have that. We'll start from there. Then Lagos, of course. What's Lagos even doing? Okay, we have one stadium playing, almost every team in Lagos are playing in one stadium. We'll rest that there, and I hope they can actually take a cue from that and get that basketball arena. So next time we are talking about season 6, the 5th season, I mean, the 6th season or even 7th one, they will be able to come to Nigeria and play. Okay, Formula 1, yes. For the first time in 30 years, Formula 1 may just be coming to Africa, yes? Yeah, it could be. And South Africa, whether it's going to be Cape Coast or maybe Johannesburg, but South Africans are really ready because they say they want to have Formula 1 back in the country after 3 decades. Yes, I mean, just look at this. Joseph, I know you're saying this, right? And you're looking at it and you're wondering, can you actually have something like this in Abuja? Yeah, well, let's rule out Lagos. It's congested already. Can I actually have something like this in Abuja? I mean, I need to look so cool. But then, it's the South Africans that want to organize a Grand Prix and they want to bring the World Championship back to the continent. And they're looking at Cape Town and they're looking at Johannesburg. And that's why you have this race track that you're seeing right there on your screen. Okay, before we hear from Joseph, let's just listen to, the South Africans, what they're thinking and why they actually want this to be back. They're looking at 2027. That's how early they're looking at a racetrack actually coming back to Africa.
The Grand Prix is definitely coming in 2027, no doubt about that. We've worked hard. We just want the best city to get it. Where is Cape Town, where is Joburg, we don't care as long as the Grand Prix is coming to South Africa.
You know what, if you must have a Formula 1 street circuit here, it will outclass Monaco. Formula 1 has a global following of 50,000 people, which is obviously much more now. They have 50,000 people, religious followers, who follows Formula 1 around the circuits around the world, at various circuits around the world. However, bearing that in mind, if you look at 55,000 people coming to Cape Town, if they must spend $100 per day over a period of 5 days, and I'm just being conservative, over a period of 5 days, they're spending $100, that's $500, you times that by 55,000 people, you do the maths. It makes sense. In 2011, we started the process of looking at bringing the Formula 1 to Cape Town. In that period, we've spoken to various stakeholders. It is only now that the National Ministry of Sport showed interest in bringing Formula 1 and assisting as well, which plays a big role with all bidders. In South Africa, sport unifies a nation, and I think this type of sport will unify our people, will bring our people more closer. Even though Formula 1 is looked at as the wealthy man's sport, we are trying to bridge that gap.
Yes, it may be better than what you have in Monaco. That's talking about the Monaco Grand Prix. That's a tough one. Joseph, I mean, you listen to them, talking about what they want to achieve. They want it as early as 2027. They're not looking beyond that, having Formula 1, the race back in Africa after 30 years.
I talked about Morocco the other time, and in 2010, I remember they told us that they have a 10-year plan, and you and I see what is working out with Morocco. Aside hosting competitions, when it comes to the female football competition, they are battling us. The men, first African nations and African country rather, to get to the semis. South Africa, look at what they are doing. They're talking about hosting a Grand Prix when it comes to Formula 1. They were also the first and the only to have hosted the World Cup here in Africa. Kudos to them. I won't take away the shine because I must praise them. That is development at its peak. These guys have seen the sport is business. And I'm honestly confused. I'm trying to see why we haven't seen it that way in Nigeria, because we are blessed. See this thing as business, and honestly, this thing will flourish. Yeah. As a matter of fact, we become a country others will envy, but unfortunately, we are still far from that. But kudos to the South African government.
Yeah,
kudos to what they are doing right now, and what is, look at the beautiful tracks we are seeing on our
had it
screen.
before, right?
Wonderful.
They're drawing on this because, I mean, Rwanda president in December, remember, when FI is even backing it up, when they said they're bidding to actually host the Formula One, but they don't have a history to draw from because South Africa hosted it before. They already have a racetrack ready, but Rwanda is going to cost them $270 million to actually get a racetrack. And you know, Rwanda is known as land of 1,000 hills, right? So they want to draw all on that to actually make it happen. But you think South Africa is going to get theirs ahead of, yeah?
Yeah, Cecilia, this circuit that you're saying,
Yes.
it zigzags about 30 kilometers. That's 20 miles.
Yeah.
Do you know the amount of work that they've put in here? And I listened to South African officials saying, we don't care if it's Cape Verde or if it's going to happen or Joburg. We are ready as long as it is South Africa. See that confidence that they have, knowing that they are ready. And while we're saying South Africa is ready to host it, let's give a big shout out to Lewis Hamilton.
Yes.
Lewis Hamilton has been saying, I want to race in Africa. I want us to take Formula One to Africa. He is British, but he has been rooting for Africa to host it. But it's just South Africa. And shout out to Rwanda that said, look, we can also take up this challenge. And they're bidding for it because they know what it is. You know, they know the kind of investors they will attract into their country if they host a Formula One event. That's how I want our sports administrators to think. That's how I want us to think with purpose when we think about sports. Don't think about sports as Ludo and Watts and Dio and Ayo and Darts. Think about sports and think business. Think about revenue. Think about, like, this can change lives. This can empower young people. This can start an industry that will last for a long, long time. Let us look at South Africa and be challenged and be motivated to take sports in Nigeria to the next level, Cecilia.
Yeah, that's what it is. Eventually, we're going to react to South Africa hosting.
You know, seeing the track, I feel bad that Nigeria would do this. Every state in Nigeria would actually, I feel Nigeria can actually.
Every state?
Yes, possibly. Have you traveled, leave flights, go around Nigeria, you know that we can also replicate this. If Rwanda is challenging South Africa to actually host the Formula One, then where is Nigeria? But it's just sad that we do not see, like Austin said, we do not see the business side. We do not see the business angle. It's not just a joke, not just the sports. It's a lot. I just feel bad, but however, kudos to South Africa. 7-time champion Lewis Hamilton has always said, bring it to Africa. Now South Africa wants it in 2027, no more, no less. Let's see them host it, and I hope possibly anything is still possible. It's still possible.
You have 2 Grand Prix in Africa. That would be great. I can't wait to actually, I have to travel to go see that. We have 2 Grand Prix in Africa. Let's move from there and go to, NPFL is getting our attention right now. Match day 27. Wow. 38. How many games to go? 10 to go. 11. But then match day 27. Sunday's fixture, yes, because he had games on Wednesday, he had games on Thursday. He even had one earlier today because the game between Rivers United and Katsina had to be played this morning after rain delayed the whole thing. They had to cut it off after that. But we'll start off with Saturday's fixtures. Sunshine Stars and Kwara United will be in action on Saturday. Now let's take a look at the games for Sunday, and that's where you have Academy Warriors and Lobby Stars. Lobby Stars, I hope they can get this one at the bottom. Kano Pillars hosting Rangers International. This is a big one. Abia Warriors and Nasarawa United. You have Aqua United and Katsina. Katsina, after losing to Rivers, they are away at Aqua United. Bayelsa United will be hosting Bendel Insurance. This is South Derby. Ikorodu City hosting Heartland in Lagos. Niger Tornadoes are home to Eyimba. Remo Stars hosting Plateau United. And Shooting Stars and Rivers United. This game will be played on Monday. So this game has been moved to Monday. That game also of Aqua United will also be played on Monday. Now, you have Shooting Stars. Right now, wow, Rivers United are second on luck. That's what it's looking like right now. Austin, NPFL, another big weekend for most of the teams. But I know we're going to be looking at Shooting Stars and Rivers United. Because Rivers United, by virtue of that win over Katsina, they are now second on goal difference.
But Shooting Stars hasn't really done badly, you know. Yes, they've been sharing
winless in the last 4 games. They haven't done bad.
No. But you have to give them kudos for going to Aimba. And I watched that game. They bossed that game. They played so well. They were just unfortunate that it ended 1-1.
The other game
at
the end of the day.
I totally agree, Cecilia, no doubt. And that's why you can see that they've dropped on the league table.
Yeah.
But I'm just that with the last game, the form, if they take that same form into this game, then maybe they might just, get back to winning ways again. But we'll see. That'll be a very difficult game for them, but we'll see what they can do. Sunshine Stars also need to pick themselves back up. They get to play Kwara United, and I think that one is happening on Saturday. Sunshine Stars, I said they were dismantled by Rangers. Rangers winning down by 3-0. It did so well for them, and they gained more relevance on the league table. I want to see what Remo Stars can do against a Plateau United, but in Ikenne, we know the story. It's very difficult for teams to go there and even come out with a point. But let's see, Plateau United, they were decent. That's the word I want to use. In their last game against Bayelsa United, did just enough to win 1-0. I see in the NPFL, it does something when you're getting into the next game from a win, So I like upsets. I would like to see it, but in Ikenne, it will be very, very difficult for Plateau United. What other game is important in all of the fixture that I see? Yes, to start Rivers United big. Aqua United needs to win against Katsina United. If they don't win that game, if they draw that game, then they are relegated. It's as simple as that. If Aqua United don't beat Katsina United, they should forget about it. Bendel Insurance, I like the consistency that they're showing, and they have shown that they are that kind of team that if they go away from home, if they are not winning, they will not lose. And you can see that their season, there is a huge turnaround now. They have forgotten there was a time. I think 2 weeks ago, we were talking about them around the relegation zone, but that has ended now. So can they go to Bayelsa United and win? We'll see, Cecilia.
And we'll see, fingers crossed. Let's quickly go to the FA Cup, yes, because the two guys will be willing, Joseph and, of course, Babajide will be willing to talk about the FA Cup quickly, especially with the Manchester clubs. That's the only hope they have for this season. Now, you have Crystal Palace and Millwall in action on Saturday, Preston North End and Burnley. You have Bournemouth and Wolves, Manchester City and Plymouth. Of course, Plymouth, remember what happened against Liverpool, right? It was a stunner. That's why Liverpool are out. Will they have another run again? Fingers crossed on that. Let's go to Sunday's games where you have Newcastle and Brighton, all Premier League action. Also Manchester United and Fulham, also all Premier League action. Yes. Joseph, I'll go with you first. This is a run. Manchester City, Manchester United, can they move past the 5th round of the FA Cup?
I was speaking to a friend and I told him, he said, Fulham, with what they've done this season, in the Premier League, would upset Manchester United. I said, sometimes, you see, clubs like Manchester United, Manchester City, with the amount they've invested and what they've done over the years, you must account for something at the end of the season, even though they just posted a loss. I'm talking about the red side of Manchester. So what I'm trying to say, in a nutshell, is that, yes, Fulham have been very impressive, but in the FA Cup 5th round, coming to Old Trafford, Ruben Amorim knowing what is at stake, and the players know that they've been talked to, United will be winning that game. Manchester City will teach Plymouth Argyle a lesson, and they will wish they hadn't beaten Liverpool.
What a reward. You're beating Liverpool, you're meeting Manchester City. Joseph, thank you so much for finding out time to join us once again on Friday night.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, Babajide, just a quick one on you from in the FA Cup.
It's just sad that both Manchester clubs, you wonder how can you even imagine an upset Manchester City Plymouth. You don't want to imagine them. But however, I hope Niger boys will actually do well against Manchester United. Yes, of course, that's our own.
Alexi will be coming back. Come on, guys.
Let them just do it.
Give them a run for their money. Manchester United. Austin, you say it's good to always be patriotic, but then United fans will not be happy because they want to win something. They saved their season by the FA Cup last season. Can they also do it again this season?
I think they can, and they've been pushing, well, we'll see. With Fulham, it's a very tricky tie. But I hear Joseph and Babajide talk about Plymouth, and they are just so confident because they know football. Football can be very funny, particularly with cup games. And with the FA Cup, I call it the upset cup. So Babajide and Joseph, just wait, calm down. We will come back to talk about it just in case Plymouth repeats what they did to Liverpool against Manchester City. Don't worry. The game between Aston Villa and in the FA Cup that is going on now, I think that game is just approaching halftime and it's still goalless. So hopefully we'll come back and talk about that one and give our viewers updates as regards the 5th round of the FA Cup. I just want to get a quick confirmation. Yeah, Aston Villa 0, Cardiff City 0. That's the show. In Austin, Okonakpan, in everything you do, remember, keep talking sports. Bye for now.
Babajide, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Cecilia. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm Cecilia Omogbe. Have a fantastic weekend.